we're going to do a hard level showcase demo. So, I want to show off a few of the hardest levels in the game as potential incentives for any future Tetrisphere runs I do. In the case that we do any one category, like if we do Rescue 1010, we wouldn't do Rescue 1010 as an incentive, but we would have a couple of the hard hide-and-seek levels, along with the what I've taken to calling the Centurion. So let's start off with Rescue 1010, which is going to be the hardest level in Rescue mode, and we'll get a clock up just so we can have some idea what's going on. So what we're going to see here is we're going to see 4 shapes on the ball, and we're going to have a rather quick timer, and the ball is also going to be rather deep. You can see that we're already getting hit with time issues, where the game already trying to punish me, and this is not a good RNG. You can see that I am already in red time, and it did not take very long at all. So you can see here, even at speedrun speeds, we are already out of time, in no small part because we got really bad RNG. We already took 1 strike. Do not like that. We're gonna start this. We're gonna start the spiel over just because that was really bad. It's not a good start. Okay, so hello and welcome to the Tetrisphere hard level showcase. This is designed to show off some of the hardest levels in the game that could be added to any Tetrisphere run as an incentive. So you wouldn't want to do a incentive level that was part of a run that was already showcased, but you can pick and choose depending on exactly what you want to show off. So first we're going to show off Rescue 1010, which is the hardest level in Rescue mode. We're going to see 4 shapes on the ball. The ball is going to be 6 layers deep, and it is going to start with, it's going to have an incredibly fast timer that is going to put us under threat almost from the get-go, and even at speedrunner speeds, we are still going to be threatened by the clock. So we're going to have to work around that. And then the other thing is we have to dig out the biggest possible area for this mode, which is a 4x4 area that we have to uncover. Did earn a dynamite pretty quickly, so we're going to take advantage of that. This is green. We're going to grab that power up while I see it. Alright. I actually want to dig a little wider here if I can find a good way to do it. You can see, despite me basically making non-stop breaks, we are already being threatened with yellow time and pretty close to red time on top of that. The clock is going to tick down anytime we are not actively making a combo. Alright. I like to save power-ups for emergency situations, but if I'm able to get it up to the level 2 power-up, which has an area effect, we will use it. Now the timer itself will not kill us. The timer will force us into drops. If those drops are valid, then we do not get punished for it. But it also does not alleviate the time pressure in any way. The only way to do that is to clear out the glowing pieces called power pieces, or to make a misdrop, which will reset the timer. There may be a point, depending on how this goes, where I decide to take an intentional misdrop. Missed it. That was not intentional. In particular, because we had this power up down here and we were that close to getting another dynamite. But I just could not get the piece to move the way I needed it to move, not at the speed I needed it to move. Again, you can see how temporary of a reprieve the power-up, or the force drop bought us. It wasn't much. So I'm trying to figure out what's holding us in, and I think it is just this square. There we go. So that is Rescue 1010, and we are going to have mandatory cutscenes in every single one of these. So, well, maybe not everyone, but we're going to see multiple mandatory cutscenes. So, I'm going to cut these out of the video.
Are you winning, son?
Well, you are in my showcase video right now. It's fine, I have to cut this anyway. But yes, this is during these runs. This is my general recording for marathon incentives.
Sorry if I wrecked that.
I don't think you came in until after it was done, but yes, please, I request not loud noises during them. But I forgot that we're going to have to sit through this large cutscene, so I'm going to have to cut this anyway, because I'm not putting this in the submission video. But then the next two will be back to back without a cutscene, so. Mandatory cutscenes, we cannot avoid them. There's nothing we can do to not watch this, other than resetting the console, and I don't want to do that. It's all the way over there, and I'm all the way over here. But I did get the Centurion down to sub 6. Farming power-ups is the way to go. We can clear the timer. So if you're watching this as a submission video, you will have just seen that we will have cut out the mandatory minute-and-a-half credit roll in a real showcase. We would likely do a reset to get past that. Alright, next hard stage I want to show off is 464. This is a Crystal Tower stage. This is the hardest Crystal Tower stage in the game, in my opinion. Harder than 564 because of the specific choice of blocks in it. So the conceit of the Crystal Tower is we have this tower in the middle there. If you see this white thing, we have that. It's buried flush, and we need to clear out the base of it. The tricky part is that the Crystal Tower, if we break anything next to it, it will behave like the crystal blocks scattered throughout the level. It will break the crystal blocks in the tower, will break, the tower will collapse, we will immediately fail the level. We do not want to immediately fail the level. Normally, for most Crystal Tower stages, we are able to use some tricks to farm power-ups. That is not true of this stage. As you can see, when I'm actually earning these power-ups, I'm immediately sending them over at the tower because the tower is not affected by power-ups. However, so normally we have some tricks we can exploit that involve massively increasing our multiplier by tricking the game into thinking that we're breaking, or that we're triggering multiple combo types at once. The shapes in this level do not allow us to do that. Furthermore, the shapes in this level, you can see that there are the squares, but you can also see that there are L's and Z's. The non-rectangular shapes in this game break more easily than the rectangles. What happens with the non-rectangular shapes is that the rectangular shapes, you need to have an entire side touching for them to break. For the non-rectangular shapes, you just have to have a corner touching. So if we have corners touching anywhere in the vicinity of the tower, the combos can run away from us, and they can take out the tower despite us being a decent distance from it. So we have to play this level extremely carefully and do everything in our power to stay away from the tower and avoid risking toppling it, while also not being able to reliably farm power-ups because the blocks are too blocky. They're too big to do the shenanigans that we need to do. Those rely on moving a block and moving it right back into... moving a block to allow a gravity combo to happen, to allow a piece to fall, and then immediately moving it again. And we can only really do that effectively with the slim rectangles, and we do not have the slim rectangles in this stage. We're fortunate enough to get a few initial power-ups, which gave us a good start. But now we kind of haven't gotten any in a while, so now we're just kind of taking the slow dig around the outside. Careful and methodical, and just hoping we don't misjudge anything. I suppose I will say that of the incentives I am pointing out here, this is... there it goes, I broke the tower. This is the least marathon safe. Let's do that from the top, because I screwed up. I will have to cut this video. It's just not avoidable. Alright. Second potential incentive is Hide and Seek 464, which in my opinion is the hardest Crystal Tower level in the game. So the conceit of the Crystal Tower is if you look around the level, you see all these blocks, these little gray blocks. Those are crystal blocks. You can drag a block through them and they will break. You can also break a combo next to them and they will break. They're just used to fill out the ball. We have this tower in the center here, and that tower is made of crystal pieces. So if we break a combo next to the tower, it will break. Our goal is to uncover the tower and uncover the base of the tower, which is a 5x5 area, without breaking the tower and toppling it. If we break the tower, we lose the level. We do not receive a strike. We just lose the level. We just have to start completely from scratch. So, we have to be very careful in what we do here. Strike's unfortunate, but it's okay. On top of that, we have very difficult shapes to work with. If you notice, we have the rectangle, we have the square, but the other shapes are non-rectangular. We have a Z, and we have an L. The rectangles will only break if they have a full side touching, but the non-rectangles basically only have to have a tiny little bit touching. They only have to have one little corner touching in order to activate and to break. This substantially increases the risk of misjudging a combo and having it run into the tower accidentally. Along with that, the typical speedrun strategy for dealing with the Crystal Tower is to farm power-ups by tricking the game into thinking that we are doing both a gravity and a fuse combo at the same time. This requires that we take blocks and that we wiggle them a single space at a time. We are not able to wiggle a block one space and wiggle it back when all the blocks are this big. These blocks are not amenable to the trick, so we cannot effectively farm power-ups, which normally is the way we mitigate the trouble of the tower. So, you've seen me use a power-up and throw a power-up directly at the tower, and you've seen that not affect the tower. So we can throw power-ups at the tower all day if we can acquire them. So that is typically our goal in these stages, is to just farm power-ups and acquire as many as possible. This stage doesn't end around on that and does not allow us to do our preferred strategy, so we have to go about this the hard, careful, diligent way. Alright, so making some progress. We got probably about half the tower dug out. Make sure these are separate. One thing we do have in our advantage is that the top blocks will only break if they are at least partially exposed vertically. So we don't have to worry about chains running through the entire inside, or like the underside of the sphere where we can't see anything. To a point, it is possible for combos to run downward in a way that they do get away from us. So you can see that I am being very cautious about how close I allow any of my combos to get to the ball. Let's throw this rocket down. I was hoping that that would be timed well enough to earn a second. Unfortunately, we did not. Which is actually rather unfortunate. Alright. Trying to be very careful about everything going on over here. Again, it just takes one wrong move to rip the entire stage. So I will say this one is not the most marathon safe incentive. So it's one you will want to carefully consider. It's exciting, it's tense, but I cannot guarantee first try success on this incentive. There's just too much that can go wrong. Yeah. Took a second strike because I'm just trying to get rid of pieces I don't need. We are, in fact, close, but I do have to be a little more careful now due to some misdrops a little bit earlier. I'm also exceedingly not happy with the pieces that I'm being offered at the moment. Just want to make sure that I get this cleared and don't take another strike, and don't topple the tower because we put 6 minutes into this already. We would prefer not to have to start this over. So let's do that here. Should be okay. Grab this out here. We can kinda. So we are not quite ready to. We are not quite in go mode in that perspective yet. Let's make sure that we can get this out of here. And there we go. So that 6 minutes, that's pretty typical. All right, I have one more stage in hide and seek I want to show you, and then I will show you what a thing I've recently taken to that I like to call the Centurion because I'm unoriginal and stole it from. It kind of reminded me a bit of a certain the keep talking and nobody explodes run in GDQ. Anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. Let's look at 565, the last stage in hide and seek. This stage also has a little trick up its sleeve. This is the only stage in the game that fills the ball to max depth. And when I say max depth, I mean we start out being unable to do anything with it. We are not able to drop, and we are not getting. I'm going to have to take a strike already, because I just could not find an entry point. Anyway, the way you got to approach this, just to start it, is you got to find a little place where you can slide around and where you can get down past the top level, because you're not allowed to drop at the top level. And then we're going to have to ultimately do dig out a 4x4 area, same as Rescue 1010. This is one where we probably want a flashing warning if we were to do this, because of so many red pieces on that top layer. It is noticeable. Ooh boy, that's not a good start. Let's see if we can salvage this though. I just got really bad RNG out of the gate. You know what? I'm going to be cutting this video anyway. Let's get a better submission. Because I kind of rambled on that beginning anyway. Alright, so the third stage I want to show you is the very last stage of hide and seek, which has a trick up its own sleeve. This level's conceit is that it is filled to the brim, to the point where there are no places to drop pieces at the beginning. You have to slide pieces around just to make an opening for your first drop. There is no other stage in the game that acts like this. Even practice mode won't let you do this. So it is actually very difficult to even get started in this. That close. Got pieces I didn't want and tried to find a way to mill them out, and I just did not succeed. I need to remember to mention the flashing warning at the beginning of this, so this is my reminder to myself when putting the video together, that the beginning of this video, or that before we enter this, we should put on screen flashing warning. And that applies if you decide to accept this on the marathon. I would recommend that this stage receive a flashing warning, just because of the amount of red that is at the top of the stage. And that's true if we do it in a run as well, but if we do this in a run, it's a 3-hour run. So that's less likely to be submitted to too many marathons. Okay, so we need to dig out a 4x4 area, so I'm trying to figure out what that 4x4 area is going to look like right now. Includes chipping away a bunch of blocks there that I think actually... a bunch of crystal blocks that are just kind of hanging out in the way. Right, so I need to get rid of this square, because what I am looking for here is an opportunity to clean up some yellows. I think what we need is we might just need one green down in this corner here. I'm not 100% sure. That was very clean, actually. Didn't waste a lot of work at all. Okay, so we will have a mandatory cutscene, so we will be cutting this from the actual video. I think I'm just going to hit the reset button to speed it up. And I'm going to hope that doesn't confuse the Elgato, because it might. Looks like we're okay. Okay, I have one more hard stage I want to put in as part of this showcase here. So I went into practice mode here, and in practice mode we can configure some stuff that's not really in the normal game. So what we have configured here is we have a level that has not 4, but all 6 possible shapes. The max layers this will let me do, which is 5, and the max core area this will let me do, which core area determines how much we have to do to actually end the stage. So we have to dig out 99 cores for this to work. So I've taken to calling this the Centurion because it's almost 100, and I kind of like the name, stealing it from the Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes GDQ run. I know that run didn't name it, but I like what it's called in that community. You know what? I don't like that spiel. I don't want to use that. Alright. So the fourth run I want to show you, and the last hard level, is something that I've taken to calling the Centurion. We go into practice mode, and we use not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but we use all 6 shapes. We do the max number of layers it will allow, which is 99, and we say we're going to dig out 99 cores, which means we have to dig out 99 2x2 squares on the ball. So this is a completely different kind of challenge, something I've just recently taken up. I don't know that I have it optimized yet, but I'm going to see how well we can do on this for the submission here. This is again completely different. It involves a lot of hunting and pecking, excuse me. It's actually really difficult to get started because the ball is so clogged with lots of stuff. And I have found that the strategy here seems to be to mill power-ups out of the gate. Which does require that we dig out enough to leave ourselves enough room to actually do such a thing. Just a little bit, which can be a little bit tricky. At the beginning, we just don't have a lot of room with which to even do that. So we're looking around here. Would like to receive some glowing pieces, and we're going to use this trick here. We pull the piece, we slide it back and forth, and that lets us convince the game that we have lets us convince the game that we are doing both a gravity combo and a fuse combo at the same time, which increases our multiplier incredibly fast. How do we set this up? We go like that. And we're going to try as best as we can to get our power up to an atom as quickly as we can, because that will strip off the entire outer layer of the ball. In many situations, I do not think it is a good power up, given how much we need to do just to get through this mode. It's contextually extremely good. So we're looking for, if we can make one more break with the green, we can probably be in position to do what we need to do. But just finding enough room with which to do it is tricky. One thing in this mode is we do not have any sort of timer trouble. I just do not have the ability to. I don't have any more greens. I kind of need yellow. Or I need that fire block down there. For this. So let's use the atom. Unfortunately, we're going to lose that one fire block. Fire blocks never appear on the surface of the ball. They always appear at least one level down, but by digging, or by using the atom, we can actually expose a whole bunch of them, because they were all one layer down. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to grab this, and then I'm trying to find more places. I'm trying to first see, can I actually find any more fire blocks, and second, can I mill power-ups? Ball's 5 layers deep. Every layer we remove will speed up the game noticeably. So now it's only 3 layers deep. Kind of feel like here's the point where I don't actually know yet if the better strategy is to peel one more layer off, or if we should just start digging now. So I think I want to peel one more layer off, so I'm going to go looking for more situations here where I can take advantage of that. So I'm going to set up these things where we just continue to just stick the piece in like that. Over, and then we do the wiggle. I'm going to pull this through here so that we can set up another wiggle. If I had another green over here, I could actually do pretty well with this. I do not, so let's just drop some combos. Similarly, another yellow, and we could actually... We can bring this down all the way to the bottom. Put this one here. Alright, so now we got that up one more level. One more one more level of power up, and I think that we will be good to start progressing here. Okay, we can make a power piece over here. One more wiggle should get us what we need. Just need to find a place where it's set up, and I need to find I need a power piece green. There we go. Now look at that number of cores just plummeting. We just went from 99 to 48 in one power up because we were close to the bottom. So now a lot of what we gotta do is just kind of clean up. So, I do need to find somewhere where I can get rid of this L because it's not what I need. And there's another one, which is, you won't believe this, but it's still not what I need. So we can go over here, we can grab that, grab a power up here, and then we'll fire that. Another rocket, we'll find another area where we can. And we're done. Okay. So those are 4 options you have for incentives that you could add to a Tetrisphere run. Each one of them has its own interesting gimmick to it. And yeah, none of them are easy. All of them will take substantially longer than the other levels in the game. I would say that the Crystal Tower is probably the least marathon safe, but also the most exciting, the most tense. Especially if I take a moment and demonstrate the collapse of the tower at the beginning and how it starts you over. Right, well, thank you for... I'm just going to cut off there. I don't have a good spiel. Alright. Thanks everybody, though, for... I was going to thank the committee, like whoever's reviewing the marathon. But... I think we'll skip that, but I am going to thank everyone who tuned in and everyone who lurked. Always appreciated. Who's on tonight? Tom's still going, huh? I might go over there. On the other hand, he's doing a spoilerific game. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to send us over to Pronzo. He's doing Tunic. It's a new game. If you would prefer not to be spoiled on Tunic, maybe bail. I know I'm not going to get to playing new games anytime soon, so I haven't been spoiled too bad because I haven't been paying that much attention when it's been on. But yeah, it's a new game. He thinks he's getting close to the end. I know he's trying to wrap it up today, so might be spoilers, but I'm still going to send us over there. Okay. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll be back on tomorrow with Pac-Man B-Ross. So, see you then. Have a good night.